Boobs usually do pretty well in public opinion polls. Men, women, pretty much everyone appreciates them, but it turns out there's much more going on when it comes to boobs than you might know on the surface of the boobs. There's more going on underneath.
This is what I went to a master's program for, by the way.
Exactly.
Keep going.
No, we're going to be talking about a number of different scientific studies of boob preferences among men, why they like the things they do, why they don't like certain things, and there's very interesting stuff going on. Apparently, a lot of people are researching boobs around the country. So the result of the first set of studies, this was done by Psychology Today. They used 266 different college students. Apparently, poor men like big breasts, while financially secure men prefer smaller breasts.
Why?
Well, they're saying basically, and by the way, I love that they used a series of animated figures with various breast sizes to test this. That must have been fun to code. Apparently, women with larger breasts, that's a signal of fat reserves, which advertises access to resources. And so the financially secure guys feel like, I don't need her to have as much fat reserves. I can provide for her. That's pretty interesting.
So that's like a weird subconscious thing that
Yes,
occurs.
all of this is subconscious. And the poor guys are like, I might not be able to feed her, so she's got to already have big boobs. Like,
okay, so that's actually really interesting information for women. That is interesting information for women. And the reason why I say that is because if you are a large-chested woman and you notice that, you know, a specific type of man is into you, it probably means that he doesn't have much.
Scrub. God, losers, get off me.
This is absurd, and it's now making me self-analyze a little bit.
Well, that's the whole point of these videos.
Self-analyze myself, my body, and the type of guys that are into me. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. Okay, so the next research that was done, they took 66 hungry men and 58 men who didn't feel so hungry anymore. This is from a university. It was a male university dining hall.
This is so absurd.
And they found that hungry men prefer big breasts, while men who aren't hungry prefer smaller breasts. I'm sure they don't know that that's happening. It's all subconscious, but that's kind of weird, actually.
That is weird. So what kind of breasts do you prefer?
I can appreciate breasts of all sizes and shapes, all skin tones, different sorts of nipples. No, I typically, historically, prefer on the smaller side.
I historically prefer on the smaller side. That's the quote of the day from John Adirola.
Well, no, I would say in general. I've dated a number of women.
What's wrong with large breasts?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with large breasts. It just turns out that I'm financially secure enough and I'm not feeling hungry, so I prefer breasts on the smaller side. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so the next one, and this is actually really interesting, and women, you should pay attention to this. Men who are not interested in becoming fathers find large breasts less attractive. And the reason for this is that they find that large breasts innately signal a woman's capacity and ability to bear and nurture children. And so subconsciously, it's telling the guys, she's ready to have a kid. I don't want to have a kid. Get your big breasts out of my face.
Wow. So you don't want to have a kid? Or at least you're not ready to have a kid.
Well, remember, there's competing urges here. So there's the money thing, there's the hunger thing, and the fatherhood thing.
Okay, did this study define what large breasts and small breasts are?
No, but you know it when you feel it. I don't know.
Really? So let's talk about cup size.
Most of these, apparently
if you're
there's
a B cup, for instance, I apologize for interrupting you. If you're a B size, for instance, like a full B, are you considered large-chested? Are you considered small-chested? I mean, you're medium-sized.
Probably medium in this case. They probably have like an A, B, and C thing going on. I'm not entirely sure, and of course it depends on the height of the woman.
And the proportion as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
No, and look, we'll link to all the studies down below. Don't worry, you can check out the methodology. But no, I don't know exactly. But I think that is interesting. And so if you find that a certain type of guy is coming to you, maybe they don't want kids or something. Or maybe they do want kids. Alternative, depends on your breasts. Sexist men, another study, sexist men,
like
not going to be surprised, they like big breasts.
Wow.
That's not particularly surprising. This test includes 361 white men, interestingly, from a college age on. They were shown 3D models of women with different breast sizes, and they found that sexist men preferred bigger breasts. I'm not surprised by that.
I don't have anything to say about that.
So one interesting thing, and this plays into all of them, in terms of overall breast preferences, anyway, they found that the largest percentage of men, 32.7%, prefer medium-sized breasts.
Wait, which percentage?
1 out of 3 men, the single largest, so the plurality, they prefer medium-sized breasts, however you define that. The second largest group, 24.4%, prefer, I apologize, large, and 19.1% prefer very large. So again, it depends on how you define these things, but it goes from biggest is medium, then large, and then very large. I don't know where small rates on there.
That's really fascinating. That's really fascinating. Well, there is
large is not the highest.
There is wealth inequality right now in the country, so maybe that is what's leading to the preference of medium to large size breasts.
Or being scared of childbearing.
Right. That's true.
There's a lot of fast food, and so that can be playing into it. Yeah, and there's a couple of other studies that are included here that we've done videos on before that you can search for. One, that bras accelerate breast sagging. They're actually bad for your breasts physically, so you should consider ditching them. That squeezing breasts may prefer cancer. I still dispute that research, but that's what they say. That staring at boobs extends a man's life. We've covered that very recently. And that finally, men who like small breasts prefer a submissive partner. That's interesting. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's true about me. But anyway, that's what they're saying.
All right, okay, that was fascinating information
yes,
there.
This is part of our continued year-round boob study coverage. But it's interesting because there are scientists out there studying little things like boobs and finding out stuff, correlations and psychological evaluations that we had no idea were going on. And so I find it to be fascinating.
Yeah, it's really important data.
It is.
I'm glad that we covered it on this show.
Yes, thank you for going along with it.